going on, CTG Nation? Welcome to episode number 2 of CTG. Thank you for tuning in. Matt, shout out to everyone who tuned in to episode 1, to everyone who left feedback and comments in regards to me starting my vlog going forward and making this a success. I really appreciate it. So continue to give me the feedback and comments. That's the only way that I'm going to get better. Your comments is like my oxygen. It helps me get better. It helps me help you. Hopefully you can find something valuable. So we definitely appreciate it. It is Thursday here, and you know what that means in the McGunter household. That means it is Wine Tasting Thursday, so I'm super stoked about that. Hopefully you have something you're looking forward to as you wind down your week and you're going into 2018. So today on episode 2, we're going to talk a little bit about a subject that's been tugging at me for a little bit, and I thought it was perfect timing as we're getting ready to kick the door down into 2018, as you are getting ready to start your New Year's resolutions. I'm personally not a big resolution guy. Writing it down, it just doesn't work for me. So for those of you who write down your New Year's resolution and you have a whole list, I support you. Go forward, kick down the door, and make 2018 a great year for sure. But we're going to talk a little bit about, we're going to call this, why are you waiting? And what are you waiting on? You know, so I'm going to give you a little background, a little shed a little light on how I came up with this topic and how it's already starting to help me, or why I thought it was important that we share this content with you going forward. So I truly believe that you start to get a sign that you need to start to take action. And it may be one big sign, somebody may punch you in the face and say, hey, you need to take action, or it may be a handful of small signs from the universe saying, hey, you got to start to do something different. So the story goes is that I typically wake up fairly early. So this past Sunday, I think it was Christmas Eve actually, I woke up fairly early before the family got up, and my day typically starts about 5:30 or so, depending on what I got going on. I'll get up, have a cup of coffee, typically sit down, watch the news. I'm a big news guy, and my wife hates it. I mean, I'll watch the 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 9 a.m., turn over to Fox, turn over to CNN, watch the news then, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m. news. My wife believes that is just filling my head with negativity, but that's what I do. So Sunday morning, I decided to do a little something different. I turned over to my second favorite channel, which was ESPN, channel 206 here in Kansas City, for those of you that have DirecTV. And ESPN was running a nice little piece on a gentleman, I think his name was Sebastian Terry. And Sebastian was a 24-year-old who had recently, it was probably about a year ago, who had lost his friend, his best friend. He woke up to a call one evening and found out his friend had passed away. And it was devastating to him, as you probably can imagine, anytime you lose someone close to you. So Sebastian was grieving, fast forward a couple of weeks, couple of months or so. During that time period, he was doing some soul searching. And he was starting to wonder what his purpose on life was, and if he, if he was truly happy. And he asked himself the question. His friend Jason, who had passed away, he goes, if Jason knew that he had only 24 years left, or 24 years, a short 24 years on this earth, would he change anything? And Sebastian came to the conclusion that his friend Jason probably wouldn't have changed anything at all. Then Sebastian reversed the question back to himself. He goes, if me, Sebastian, knew that I only had a short time to live, would I change anything? And at that moment it hit him that he would probably change a lot of different things, because he wasn't happy with his life. He was putting things off. He was a procrastinator, as my old shirt would say. I don't like to procrastinate, or why do we procrastinate? Or what if you didn't procrastinate? And so Sebastian started to think. He goes, I'm going to start to change my life and do the things that I want to do, and I'm not going to continue to put them off. So he started writing a list of random things that he wanted to accomplish in life, and he ended up with 100 different things on that list that he wanted to accomplish. Some of the craziest things you can ever think of. He wanted to live on a deserted island. He wanted to write a song while he was on that deserted island. He wanted to perform that song, live in an orphanage. He wanted to go to Vegas and marry a total stranger in a little white chapel. He wanted to do something for a total stranger, just kind of random things, but those are the things that was going to help him. He wanted to hitchhike across America. So fast forward, he was doing all of those things that were going to help him, progress in his life and not putting them off anymore, because he didn't know how much longer he had on earth. So bring this full circle, that started to tug at me a little bit. Craig, are you doing the things that you truly want to do right now with your life? I'm 41 years old, and I can say that I've been tremendously blessed over my 41 years. I've traveled the world. I've seen a lot of different things. I met a lot of different people. I have 4 wonderful kids, great wife. So I say that I've lived a fabulous life, but I'm only 41, and I truly believe that the universe has so much more out there for me, and there's so many more things that I want to try and experience. And the thing that I found myself doing is that I was starting to put things off because of certain circumstances or certain situations, and those things are starting to weigh on me. Like, why aren't you just doing them? Why aren't you doing them? And what are you waiting for? And bigger question again, why are you waiting? And so I started to think, but I didn't express it to anyone. I just kind of kept those thoughts to myself, as I expressed earlier, that a lot of my thoughts are just kept in my head. So fast forward a couple of days later, I want to say we're driving down the road, and I typically, when I'm in the car, I don't talk a lot. Kimberly and I was having a conversation, and I told her the story about Sebastian. And she said, that's just the universe telling you, Craig, you need to get out there and do it. Stop putting things off. For instance, I always tell people, man, my youngest son, Cash, has less than 3,000 days before he graduates high school, and then I'm out of here. So there's no reason for me to live in Missouri anymore. I'm going to do this when Cash graduates high school, because he'll be an adult. He'll be on to college. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And, is that really how I want to live? And when I became honest with myself, the answer to that is no. If I want to take a trip to Canada, go take the trip to Canada, because you never know how much longer you have. So Kimberly brought that to my attention as we were talking, and that was kind of full stop at that point. Conversation was over. So a day later, I went out to the mailbox, and I'm checking the mail. And because I'm the only one in this house checks the mail, and obviously we hadn't checked it in a couple of days because of the holidays, and the mailbox was full. We had about 5 or 6 different Christmas cards from family and friends. So thank you to all the people who send Christmas cards out there. If you know anything about the McGunters, we do not send any Christmas cards, but we wish you all the best. So I get back inside, and I'm opening up the mail, and there was these 4 or 5 Christmas cards. So I pull them out, look at all the pretty pictures of the families, babies, and all that good stuff. So I just leave it on the counter. I go downstairs, come back upstairs, and I'm getting ready to take the trash out, because I'm the only one to take the trash out in this house. So I'm getting ready to throw the envelopes away. Of course, we saved all the beautiful pictures. Actually, you probably can't see them back there. But I'm getting ready to throw the envelopes away, and then there's an envelope in there that was fairly heavy. And I'm like, oh, did I miss anything? Maybe someone sent me a gift card or something, or wrote me something, a nice little letter. And sure enough, in the envelope, there was a letter in there. And this letter was by a couple that is friends with Kimberly. She's known them for a long period of time. I've never met this couple, but I've heard of their story multiple times as Kimberly's talking about them. And for confidentiality reasons, we're not going to get out there, and we're not going to put their name out there. But this letter kind of walked through their year 2017, all the things that they accomplished in 2017, and how they're looking forward to 2018. So as I told you in episode 1, and as I get older, I get more and more emotional about just little things, movies, looking at my kids, the fact that I'm getting gray hair. I'll just start crying and about things like that. So I'm halfway through this letter, and obviously I'm in tears as I'm reading through it. And I'm going to give you a little background on the letter. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but this kind of brings it full circle to answer the questions. Why are you waiting, and what are you waiting on? And you just got to do stuff. In other words, as I would tell my kids, you got to do shit. I'm reading the letter, and this letter is about a husband and wife. I want to say maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years. My math may be a little bit off because I don't know the full story. The husband got diagnosed with liver cancer, and he was given only a year to live. And this was a couple who had a very successful career. They worked their entire life. They had kids, put their kids through college, and they were going to travel and do all these great things. And when they retired, and then all of a sudden they get the devastating news that he has liver cancer and he has less than a year to live. So, but they didn't let that stop them because they said, okay, you only have less than a year to live, so let's do all the things do as much as we possibly can in this year's time. So this may have been 2015, 2016 that they started doing all this. I mean, they travel international, travel domestic, did all these crazy things, skiing trips, and they were living life to the fullest. They weren't waiting because they didn't know when his expiration date was going to come. They didn't put all their faith in doctors saying, hey, you're only going to live a year. They wanted to make sure they did as much and make sure that he was happy in the limited time that he has. So fast forward to 2017. 2017 rolls around, the beginning of 2017, and obviously they had a very big concern because he had not received his liver transplant. And the doctor basically said, you have anywhere between 3 to 4 months to live if you do not receive this liver transplant. So they were continuing to live life, but it was really becoming game time at this point. So they were turned down by 5 different centers in Texas in regards to finding a matching liver for him to continue on life. So they continued their search on and went to the Mayo Clinic out in Phoenix, Arizona. And this past April of 2017, they received a gift of life from this wonderful family. He received a liver transplant, and miracles do happen because he is living really, really well, doing really, really well now, and and living life. But it brings us back to the question, what are you waiting for, and why are you waiting? So, hi Mom, that's my mom banging me on Facebook there. So I can see her message come across because that's my mom. Anyway, so back to the story. So as I continue to read through the story, just to share with you just some of the things that that they accomplished in 2017, even though they had the burden of not knowing if he was going to wake up the next day or not. He went to Daytona 500. He went skiing with his daughter. He went skiing with his brother. He played golf in North Carolina with his brother. They went to several national parks. Went to the Indy 500. Just spent some time with his brothers, his sisters. Helped his daughter adopt a dog. Just things that he wanted to accomplish in his short period of time that he believed that he had before expiration, or he made his transition. So that kind of touched me, and that was kind of my second sign. First being the story with Sebastian that I saw, and second, reading this Christmas card that I almost threw in the trash and would have never got the full story. That was my second sign saying, hey, get out there and do the things that you wanted to do. And make it happen. Stop waiting. Don't wait 3,000 days until Cash graduates high school before you start to make things happen, or before you start to get shit done. There's no need to wait there. So that was a big reason of why I decided to start my vlog, because I didn't have any excuses. So if you take anything away from this, is don't wait. And if you are waiting, answer the question of why are you waiting? In 2018, there should be no excuses because we have to get stuff done going forward. So ask yourself, if you had to go back and do it, what would you change? For me, I'm sure there's some things that I would change, but it's more important. I can't do anything about those things at this point. It's more important for me of developing and what I'm going to do going forward. The biggest thing for me, people are afraid of death, and I don't like to talk about death, but I can only think, one of the things that I could compare to death, or the worst thing, would be living in regret. Now, I think that I'm going to live to 109 years old. So I still got some time, but I don't know how much time I have, but I don't want to have any regrets when I'm sitting in a nursing home at 99, 100, 105, having regrets. I think that's the worst thing you can do, is have a ton of regrets. So you got to figure this out going into 2018. Ask yourself, why are you waiting? What are you waiting on? What's your list? What's the things that you want to do? And let's not put it off. For me, it's the little things that I will always, or that I had always put off. Simple things like my 9-year-old saying, "Hey Dad, you want to play Madden?" Well, he's kicked my ass 50 times in Madden because I don't play video games. And no, really, I don't want to play Madden because I don't like getting my teeth kicked in every time I play it, because I don't know what the buttons do. But, not putting that off and say, "Hey, I'll play in an hour," or "We'll play tomorrow," because I don't know if I'm going to be around tomorrow to play a game of Madden with my 9-year-old. But I do know that I can live in the moment, get my teeth kicked in, and who knows, on number 51, I might win. That's the name of the game. Going through the process, dealing with the negativity, dealing with the defeat, trying new things. So I encourage you to get out there and try new things. You never know what you like until you try it. I tell my kids all the time, you never knew that you like chicken if you ate hamburger all the time. And then all of a sudden you tried chicken, and now you like chicken and you like hot dogs. So get out there and try new things. So the world has sold us on no. The world has sold us on put it off till tomorrow. Erase that mindset going into 2018. Let's not put it off till tomorrow. Let's not wait. And we don't have to answer the question, what are we waiting on? We already know that we want to accomplish whatever we want to accomplish. Let's just get out there and do it. So I would say to you, bite the apple, move on, start trying new things, do what's on your list, and make it happen. And I hope that 2018 brings a lot of great things for you, and just say to yourself every single day, I'm not going to say no, or I'm going to say no a lot less, and I'm going to say yes a lot more, and we're going to get shit done in 2018. So happy day to everyone. Hopefully episode number 2 brought some value to you. You found something in that little story that I shared with you in regards to, we don't know when our expiration date's coming, but we do know that we can control the things today and do those things, the things that we want to do, and make them happen make them happen now. So have a great day. We'll chat with you in the near future. Again, I appreciate any feedback and comments that you may have. If this is a video that you think that may be able to help someone, please share it with your friends on your social media outlets. And have a great day. Thank you.